Well, tonight's game was very, very satisfying on our end. You know, in the circumstances that we currently have, and in particular, being able to bounce back after a disappointing game against Gonzaga. No shame in losing to Gonzaga. They're an excellent team, but you know, we certainly didn't look well, didn't shoot the ball well, and like I had mentioned after the game, it's tough to point fingers and or really even be hard on your own self as the coach, because we didn't have a lot of time to organize ourselves in the new roles that our players found themselves in. We were more organized tonight, and I thought that really helped. And a number of guys played well. You know, Lowry obviously speaks for himself. Dusan was very effective in the post, but you know, part of the deal against the zone, sometimes big guys are invisible because the guards can't get the ball to them. Tonight, our guards did a great job of being able to get the ball to the middle, to the low post, and we delivered when we had that chance. Look, UC Irvine coming into our game has played some excellent defense. If you look at their numbers, they are a big team. They play a good 2-3 zone, and I thought we did a good job against a very good defense. You know, offensively is where they've struggled turning the ball over and maybe not shooting the three as well. And, you know, at times we defended well, disappointed maybe in our defensive rebounding. But all in all, for us to win by the margin we did, I think makes all of us feel good, gives our guys much needed confidence. And, you know, we have 4 non-conference games left, and it's about surviving. It's about trying to be the most ready we can be every day, improving, and seeing what each game brings us.
How do you bring together coaching, defense, and get guys to challenge shots and at the same time make sure they're not fouling anyone?
That's a big deal for us. You know, we have done a very good job of not fouling. Tonight, you know, and Chance stuck out because, you know, he was not able to be a factor. He almost beat himself. And, you know, some of his offensive fouls, it's now up to us as his coaches to be able to teach him and show him so that he doesn't keep repeating the same mistake. But he's a much, much better player than he's shown here recently, and I think that will come. You know, he has a bigger role. Now that he has a bigger role, now he has to learn how to be successful in that bigger role. But, you know, being able to play without fouling is a trademark of a disciplined, good defensive team, and that's something that we work hard to be every day. Can we be better? No doubt. But we're also playing with a lot of young players out there, and every time that they play a game, I think they learn what to do, what not to do.
Ristic and Markkanen kind of play off each other pretty well, it seems. How do you think their games are blending and all are so different in players?
You know, I think they're blending well. You know, one common trait that Dusan and Lowry have is they are incredible kids. I mean, in the classroom, off the court, in practice, as teammates, love the game. 2 of our hardest workers, not just now, but in the summer. And, you know, both guys are on the other side of the world. You know, they're not going home for Christmas. And yet they're just really, really great kids. And I think that all of us feel that. You know, to have them as teammates and prime players on the court is a great thing for us. So I think that, you know, you talk about leading by example. Every time that they show up, they lead by example because their work ethic is incredible. And to me, that's the focus for those guys. Are they different as players? Yes. But both of them have that one common trait that they're just incredibly coachable.
How much does it open up for your offense when that shot is falling inside for Dusan?
Good. And, you know, when you play against the zone, everybody thinks, and I think a lot of fans think, that now you have to make threes. And at times they're right. But I think really good zone offenses and teams who are consistently good against the zone are able to get fouled, score from 2, score in the post, and then when they take threes, they're really good threes. When we took threes tonight, they were good threes. Part of it is what you said. We got the ball into the post. You know, we shot 18 free throws, and we did a good job. 22 assists. They played a 2-3 zone the entire game, and you know, for us, we're going to see a lot of zone right now because I think teams are checking our ability to shoot, how organized we are. But we're only going to get better every day that we're together because, in a way, our team has only practiced for a week because we don't have the same team as we had 2 weeks ago. And a lot of our planning we definitely don't have the same team as we had then. So putting these guys in the best position to be successful, it takes some time, and we're really looking forward to the next 3 or 4 days before we go to Missouri to maybe be even better. Like 2 of Lowry's threes tonight happened because his teammates were well aware of where he was, and they got him the ball. You know, if we were on Saturday, we weren't looking at him like that. He would almost have to find his own shot. So, you know, it's like anything rolls, who can do what against the zone. Everybody's looking for Lowry because he's such an exceptional shooter.
What prompted you to use a little zone there in the second half, and was that something you've been thinking about for a while?
You know, we work on it all the time. You know, just looking at our players, we're wearing down. I mean, you look at why did we start the second half with 5 team fouls? It's not like we weren't trying. It's just to play great man-to-man defense. You know, that 19-minute first half for Kadeem, you don't feel the same as instead of playing a 14 or 15-minute first half. So, and then as the season grows, you know, you get ready for the game on Saturday, it wears you out for the next game. So not that you want to stand around in a zone, but it's certainly a different way of playing. And the other thing is, you know, we're really big. That's one of the strengths of our current group. So if you think about that back line and the guards, using that size is probably a smart move, playing through foul trouble, giving the team a different look. But, you know, I think it's hard to be good at a lot of things, and the more zone we play, the worse we'll be at man-to-man. So I think working on it and using it at the appropriate time, that's probably what we'll do.
Do you have to tweak practice at all with these minutes that the guys are playing and with the 7 guys that you are?
Yep.
How does that trick you move into practice then?
It's the most difficult thing. It's hard for us to practice. We practice against the scout team, walk-ons a lot. We try to go full court in different ways. I probably need to shrink practice the time that we're out there. But no question, we just have to be careful because, you know, the other thing is, God forbid if anybody else would get hurt, you know, we would really be in dire straits. So it's still early. It's early December. So we're trying to be smart. But there's so much of the season left that we have to work to improve. So I think we're kind of have 2 different types of practices. You know, anytime we go contact, it's going to be really short. When it's not contact, we're going to try to work on things in a different way. But that's what a coach is about. That's what a staff's about. And we're trying to be as smart as we possibly can.
Do you even have Dylan back, by the way, for practice, or is he still?
Yeah, no, he's been back, and that's good. Look, our practices, I'm worried because we only play 7 in a game, but we can actually practice fine. All of our players practice. We can't have them play in a game.
How do you feel your team's ready for a true road game playing with somebody else's?
You know, we've played away from McHale now 4 times. So, you know, like I told the guys, playing in Vegas is new. I thought Butler had a great crowd against us. When we were in Hawaii, Michigan State had a really good crowd. We of course, had our fans. But even in L.A., Gonzaga had a great group. We've played in an NBA arena. We've played in Hawaii. We've played in Vegas on back-to-back nights. So we haven't just been camped out here. So I think we'll be fine. Is it going to be a little different? Sure. But, you know, we're playing an SEC opponent, an opponent that we beat here a year ago. I'm sure they remember that. And we're going to have to be ready. We know that. We're going to have to play great. And that's our goal, to go there and play our best.
You have 2 full games with Kadeem Allen running the point. What is something that you like from him this year as opposed to when he was playing the point last year?
You know, he's turning the ball over more. And some of it, I think, is fatigue. You know, he guards the other team's best player. He uses a ton of energy there. We want him to make plays. He's running the team. And some of his decision-making, I think, is more of a factor of fatigue and trying sometimes to make plays for his team. But, you know, I think he had 5 turnovers against Gonzaga, 3 tonight. That's 8 in 2 games. You know, 13 turnovers. We don't want him to turn the ball over 3 times. He can play a game with less than that, for sure. But to his credit now, there's nobody who's going harder, working harder, or doing more for his team than Kadeem is for us right now.
Is Tyler the 8th man right now?
Yeah.
With Parker out, I was going to ask you, with Parker out, is he more important than the other walk-on guys because of his size and ability?
Yeah, he's a guard, and the other guys aren't. But, you know, everybody's ready, and being able to use them for short bursts helps us. Rest helps us play through foul trouble, and those guys are practicing every day, and that's the one change in practice. We give those guys reps now. We're not always playing against them. So as they get some reps of what we're doing, they'll get more comfortable.
Yeah, what did you think in general of Tyler? You had him out there for.
He did a really good job. Did a good job, yeah.
I mean, did you see that in practice? He was a guy that you added off a tryout,
Mhm.
right? And have you been seeing that a little more that you can trust him in that situation, maybe? Or-
Yeah, for sure. And he takes care of the ball. Even tonight, he had 0 turnovers in 13 minutes, 2 assists, and did a good job. He really did. I think he knows his role, and he's out there, for the right reasons. And we've had a lot of talks with those guys to make sure that they're locked in, that when they're called upon, that this is what you want to do, this is what you want to stay away from.
Keanu, was that the 2 when you were in the zone? Is that something that you only do when you're playing zone, or is that just something that happens like that?
I would call that our survival lineup. That's not in Arizona's best interest.
Are you concerned about Kobe at all with the rough performance he's had the last 2 games?
No, he did some good things tonight. 5 assists. As a young player, sometimes when the three-point shot's not going in, you become hard on yourself. So he's had back-to-back games where that hasn't happened, and then you start to think about that. You start to press, and then maybe you let some other things slip that you can do well. But he'll get it. He's a freshman, man. It's just games for freshmen aren't nearly as easy. For every Carmelo Anthony, there are plenty of examples of guys who have great careers, even NBA careers, that if you judge them only on the first 2 months of their college career, you never could have predicted what's to come. Lowry, I think he kind of looks that part right now, where he's just such a special offensive player. It comes easy for him. But even Lowry, he's not perfect. He makes defensive mistakes. He had plenty that we've talked to him about after recent games, but I thought he did a good job tonight defensively, maybe better than he's been.
Thanks.